Why do so many children live in poverty? Sin. It's as simple as that. In all honesty, sin. God says in Proverbs 22:22, rob not the poor because he is poor, neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. But what do? We rob the poor because they're poor. Okay. But we rob the poor. We oppress those who can't, they're already in pain in some type of way. And what does that lead to? That affects the children. If you're robbing the poor who are adults, and if they have children, that affects the children. It's like when we get drunk or have an alcoholic problem or whatnot or whatnot, that affects the children, right? They're around you, they see it, it affects them negatively. Could be physically, right? When we commit fornication, it affects the children physically. Disease, problems. Then you have a child who might actually have the disease because you have the disease, right? Our sins affect one another. So why are we blaming God? God didn't sin. He tells us not to sin. He tells us what not to do. But we just ignore it. So how can we blame God for that? He says this is how the world is set up. Sins affect one another. Good works affect one another. It's like if you have a good president and he tried to do everything for the people, that affects, that benefits us. Okay. When somebody around you doing the right thing, you've done nothing, but still that benefits you, right? It's like if your parents, if they're good parents, you didn't do anything, but that still benefits you, right? So why are we blaming God? He tells us what to do, tells us how to avoid children being in poverty, but we just don't listen. So are we blaming him? I wonder, asking to the atheists, are you blaming him because he didn't stop the consequences? You sinned and he didn't intervene. Does that make sense? How would you feel? Okay. If if you said, well, I'm trying to do all this stuff, I did everything I could for the people, you know, let's say you're a president or something, or a king or whatever, and you try to do everything you can for the people, and people just don't listen to you. And then you say, well, and then the consequences come, and they say, it's your fault. It's like, wait a minute. Because you didn't, stop it or something. I was like, wait, you chose to do this. You chose not to listen to me. And it's my fault. That's like saying, you got your 18-year-old kid out there. You tell them, don't do this, don't go there. They do that and they go there. And then the police want to put you in jail. It's like, wait a minute now. Wait. It's like, no, boo boo. I didn't do this. you know? But it's crazy, isn't it? I mean, in all honesty, it's like saying, you know, I don't want to say, but I still want the A. See, it doesn't work like that. And you would tell your children, you would tell people, it does not work like that. If you want the A, you gotta do the stuff. If you want like a perfect world, you gotta follow the perfect law. But guess what? People don't follow the perfect law. So guess what? You don't have a perfect world. I mean, that's just pretty much how that goes. And why is heaven going to be better? Well, one thing, you're going to have people up there who's going to follow the perfect law. And that's it. So therefore, what you're going to have? A perfect world. Question 3. Question 3. Why does God demand the death of so many innocent people? Proverbs 16:16 says, "These 6 things does the Lord hate, yea, 7 are abomination unto him: a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief, a false witness that speaks lies, and he that sows discord among brethren." Isaiah 5:20, "Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil, that put darkness for light, and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter." And that's exactly what he's doing. Innocent people. The references he gave in his slide or in his video, all those people did evil. But this man says nothing was wrong with that. That it's quote unquote not that bad or it's good. How many people is going to look at this list and say, oh yes, this is an abomination? Oh yes, the Lord should hate these things. How many people? A prowler. People say, be confident, quote unquote, which is not really what some people say confident, which really means like, be proud, not humble, sort of be like a big head a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you know the type, but I should certainly know the type. Okay. You can't talk to them. They don't listen. This pride is going to send a lot of people to the wrong place after death. Pride. What? Because why? I'm not going to listen to God. I refuse. I know everything. Well, I know most things. I have all the knowledge. I have the knowledge. I'm smart. Or I have the money. I'm rich. A lying tongue. How many? A lot of people, because of this, a lot of people are going to go to the wrong place. You got a lot of false religions out there, which includes evolution, okay? And they're just floating out there and people are just listening to them. No proof. Just lies. Lies based on other lies. Hands that shed innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked imaginations. Feet that be swift to running to mischief. How many people? A false witness that speaks lies. You go on the stand and you lie like a mug, right? Or you could just simply just lie and say, oh, I saw him leave the hotel. And it's not true. That's not true. You didn't see anything. Liar. Right? But that could mess up marriages, right? All this. And he that sows discord among brethren, separating friends, brothers, with words of sin, right? All this. I wonder what he would think about that. Are they innocent people? I'm sure he thinks some of this stuff is innocent. It's like, oh, it's not so bad. A proud look until they're looking down at you. A lying tongue until they're lying to you. and so on and so forth. Right? Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil,